Hey over there, Joe Lunchbox.
Enjoy Nightingale.
And today we landed right here in Hancock, Massachusetts. Now, if you don't know where that is, we are in the heart of the Berkshires, and that's what the point of today is. We're just going to explore the Berkshires. We're going to focus on some weird roadside attractions. I personally have been trying to go to all 50 high points. If you don't know what that is, each state has a highest point of elevation, so people go around trying to go to the highest point of every state. So here in the Berkshires is Massachusetts High Point, and we're going to check it out. Supposedly it's cool. There's a little lodge at the top. And my beautiful wife here, she loves carousels. And there is the Carousel of the Berkshires. And we haven't been there. We haven't brought you along. And that's what we're going to do. Explore the Berkshires. Hit a high point. Go to a carousel. See some roadside attractions. Somewhere behind us. We got some glare. Is that right? Right. Oh, right there. You see those legs? That's right. We're starting our video today at a Muffler Man here. We are going to leave Hancock, go around a few other towns, give you a good tour of some funky, weird roadside attractions. It should be good. If you like this kind of thing, we always appreciate if you like this video. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to our channel. Comment down below. Where is your favorite spot to seek out roadside attractions? Weird stuff. We're not talking about full museums and amusement parks. We're talking like statues, like Muffler Men, just sitting randomly on the side of the road. All right, but it's time to do this. Step right up. Let's go for this ride. We're not actually getting far at all. The spot we started the video is actually our first stop at the video. Sitting at Bush Hog Authorized Dealer right here on Route 43 is a Muffler Man. If you've been following our channel for any time now, we have been slowly and surely going around the country, seeing every roadside giant. In case you don't know, these were nicknamed Muffler Men in the 90s, originally made in the 60s, early 70s. These roadside giants, used for good advertising, used to hold things in their hands. Not always mufflers, that's just a rumor. A lot of times axes, wrenches, whatever they wanted. This guy ceased to be holdingless, but you see his hands in positions ready to hold. I love these things. I love that these things still exist. You can find them. And this is one we have never seen before. A good Muffler Man. Looking gentleman, I like his baseball cap with the American flag, red bow tie, guarding the road. And if we look in the distance, he's already gathered some fans. Now we're gonna head up to the high point. It's at Mount Greylock State Park, and we'll meet you there. So we made our way to the visitor center at Mount Greylock. Like I said, this is the highest point in Massachusetts. We're not at it yet. There is a road that is a seasonal road, so if you are coming, make sure that if you want to drive to the top, the road is open. You could always hike to the top, but we're going to drive there today. We've brought you along on a few of the high points. If you've been following the channel for a while, we've done stuff as high ones like New Hampshire and Connecticut to highest points in states that might be low, like Indiana. But we figured never done Massachusetts, first time. Joy's looking at information. We figured visitor center, good spot to start a time. We are here, starting at elevation of 1,660. We are going to go to the top. You see, summit 3,491 feet above sea level. And the cool thing about it, if we see the summit, this green line coming down, is the Appalachian Trail. When we get to the summit, there are some things for us to see up there. There is a lodge. There is a Veterans Memorial. That's a tower that we could climb up. So there's going to be some good stuff to see other than just the view.
It's cool. It says on a clear day, you can see almost 100 miles in every direction.
Ooh. That's very good.
Oh, and it's 3,491 foot peak.
Yes. It's high.
That is high.
Not as high as Mount Washington, 6,400.
Oh my God.
But it's a lot higher than some of the ones that we went to, like 300.
Oh yeah.
As soon as we walk in, I already like it. It's a little dark. We thought it was closed. We have a hang glider above us. And look at this, a good 3D map. You never go wrong with a 3D map. Joy's gonna push the light and we're gonna follow the Appalachian Trail. See right here, you see it? That's gonna be the top of the mountain. You see, we are here. The road literally follows up along the ridge line up to the summit, to the highest point of Massachusetts. Touch the marble from the valley surrounding Greylock. Ooh, marble. The sprawling quarry contains marble, formed when limestone has been heated under pressure. Typical of the soft stone of the mountain's foot, it shows how wind and rain have worn down the lowlands around Hard Peak. And here we have schist bedrock. Lots of learning to be here. Rocks of ages. 500 million years ago when Greylock was formed, the mountain may have been 20,000 feet tall. Over the eons, wind and rain rode it. Imagine that. Might have been 20,000 feet tall. Now, 3,491 miles. Like I said, we are part of the Appalachian Trail goes over this. This is the Appalachian Mountains. People don't realize the Appalachian Mountains are some of the oldest mountains in the world. They used to be way taller, but over the years, the eons, it says, they eroded down. We have a red spruce tree represented here with the woodpecker, but we got to be careful because sleeping in it, we have a quiet bear. The visitor center has a nice theme, the feel of like a wood cabin here, talking about the Appalachian Trail, showing a map of it going all the way from Maine down to Georgia. To the side, we have the marker that we would see on the trail. You see the symbol, it might look like an arrow, but it's also an A and then a T for Appalachian Trail. Lots of nature and facts to learn. We have the yellow birch.
That's cool. And saying that the yellow birch is used in cabinetry, including in the woodwork in the exhibit.
Ah, that's interesting. Yellow birch used in the cabinetry and the wood in the exhibit. Also learn some of the forest birds. They might look like taxidermy, but I think they are just wood. One of the dwellers at the summit. We have a little rabbit. It's talking about adverse climate. The visitor center temperature right now is 67.9 degrees. On the top of the summit is 61 degrees. Weather could get more extreme over there. We have some pictures of what we are going to see at the top. Here is the lodge that we will see. And here we have some models of the towers. First one made in 1840, second one 1885, and this newest memorial tower built in 1932. It was actually dedicated in 1933, and it's made of slabs of Quincy granite that weigh as much as 8 tons. I like it. Camp life. Look inside this replica Civilian Conservation Corps barracks. See the enrolled military-style living conditions after a hard day work. Imagine all the barracks in a row like that. Here we have a picture of the former CCC camp. When Franklin Delano Roosevelt became president, the unemployment rate was 25%. As part of the New Deal to combat the Great Depression, Congress created the Civilian Conservation Corps to put men back to work and protect our natural resources. And that's what the CCC camp was here for. Projects spread across the mountain, restoring the forest, sculpting the summit landscape, and building a parkway, effectively creating the park that we are in today. One of the CCC projects was actually building the lodge on top of Mount Greylock. You can actually see some of the construction happening. A historic artifact dealing with the CCC. One of the enrollees created the stylish bell to announce when meal was ready. This isn't a replica, this is an actual artifact. The mess hall could feed up to 200 men camping at once. Tell us a fun fact about paper birch, Joy.
So, the northern native people made canoes from it, from the bark itself.
But what do people like us use it for?
But today it's actually used as like popsicle sticks.
Now if only this was one popsicle stick, that'd be a big popsicle. But no, it's cut down to be popsicle sticks. Just finished watching a movie about the park and the mountain, surrounded by some old signs. Intermediate class ski. Ooh, that's right. There's actually a ski trail here. People have hang glided from the top. This skiing. Learned a lot. It opened in what year? 1898?
As a state park,
As the Massachusetts' first wilderness state park. So we left the visitor center. Making our way back to the minivan, then to the top of the mountain. We made it to the top. We got some maps for the top. And I like this. I don't usually see the tops of most mountains. Mount Greylock hang gliding, paragliding registry. Just register. You jump off the mountain. I mean, it might be more to that. I'm not a hang glider. I don't know what insurances you need and stuff like that. But it is interesting. And at the top of the mountain is the Massachusetts War Memorial. It's here to honor men and women of the state of Massachusetts that died protecting this nation. And when I mean the Appalachian Trail goes through this park, there's a sign right up here. This is the Appalachian Trail. We are on it right now. That way, the trail's heading north to Maine. If we go that way down the trail, head to Georgia. And 11 miles of the Appalachian Trail goes through this park. And just north of it, talk how different people live in this land. Before, just north of the summit was actually the old Mohawk Trail before this was settled. And then there was industrial revolutions and other stuff. Up top, we actually have all different kinds of trees, which is pretty cool up here. Because we are at such an elevation, we actually have trees that are more found in Canada. So there's the Appalachian Trail south, and there it is north. We have made our way, let me get out, the sun glare. There we go. We have made our way to the base of the tower. Looking at some of the trees. And the cool thing about some of the trees up here is we actually have some red spruce, which they were saying is native to this area, but not found that often. In the 1800s, one of the industries here was charcoal. So they cleared all the land to burn and make the charcoal with. However, some of these red spruce were on such steep hillsides and mountainsides that they couldn't clear them. So you still have patches of red spruce that are left that might not seem native, but they are, because all the other trees that grew up around them. So you just see the patches now of red spruce. Right here we're looking east, but the view we want to see, I think, is sort of the southeast view. Yep, great view. So many people lined up, almost like they're going to see a rock concert, sitting, facing out. But all they're actually doing is looking at the view. So we can see up to 90 miles, looking more east in Massachusetts. You could actually see some of the farms, other mountain peaks in the distance. Look how beautiful that is. Wow. Such a beautiful tower. Do you know the most amazing thing about this tower? You want to tell the people, Joy, the most amazing about this tower?
that you can go in and climb it up.
Yeah! So we have the shield, and it says, erected by Massachusetts in grateful recognition of the loyalty and sacrifice of her sons and daughters in war. They were faithful even unto death. We have an eagle shield, and then we get to go in. U.S. shield, a wreath against the wall for all the people that paid the ultimate sacrifice. Around the wall it says, those immortal dead who live again in minds made better by their presence. And it looks like the floor is actually made out of some marble. And we learned marble is the stone at the base of the mountain. It's the lower levels. beautifully done. And we don't just get to go in this memorial, we get to go up the tower. If you drive up, there is a ramp for handicapped accessible going down into this area. However, going up, there is no elevator, it is stairs. Going up the spiral staircase. Joyce saying it's around 90 stairs, what she read. Well, I'm gonna get me dizzy.
But it's really good because, like, if you do one set, there's a nice, like, little cutoff.
Yeah. And with those cutoffs, we do have little windows.
Oh, there's like.
Every so often there's.
Yeah. So it's like just enough that you might feel dizzy and then.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. You feel dizzy, yes. Joe gets himself motion sickness going up spiral staircases, especially up stuff like this. First window from the top, we're looking north. As we look out, we can see the Adirondack Mountains, Green Mountains of Vermont, and just below us is North Adams, Massachusetts. Taking in the view, Joy?
All the views, all the views.
And if you take a photo at every single window, you can put them all together and make a panoramic. Here we're looking east, so we were standing down below looking out over those farms, down to the town of Adams is right below us. Looking south into the Berkshires, town of Cheshire, Pittsfield. Just over there. Not this first peak, but past it. That's going to be New York. And the last view is looking west. Past these peaks, we have the Hudson River Valley, Adirondack Mountains. We actually see the Taconic Range. Now time to head back down. Only a few more stairs, Joy. We made it down. It was a good tower. I liked it. Had a good view. See, just think, we could see the states of Massachusetts that we're in, New York and Vermont from there. Right here is the Appalachian Trail. Come on, Joy. I figured, why not walk a little bit? Because if we keep going, soon we'll hit Vermont, and then we'll get to New Hampshire, and we could take the people back to Mount Washington.
Oh my gosh.
And then end up in Maine.
Oh my gosh.
You ready, Joy? We're doing the Appalachian Trail now. We're just gonna leave the car here.
Nope, I want to walk a little bit of it.
Look, just there, just north, Appalachian Trail. We got this.
I don't think I got this with this.
We keep going. We hit the Mohawk Trail, and then the state line. Okay, maybe we're not doing the Appalachian Trail today. While we're on top of this mountain, Mount Greylock, we did see a bunch of through hikers here.
Rising. I don't know if that's Cento or Centi. Wise in this magnificent group dominates the county. Stands the wow. Yeah, it is kind of
faded. This is the centennial of the western
portion of the state, and with the New York mountains, the Connecticut and Vermont mountains before it,
and on either hand of it
for
many miles
rules them all with no rival, either in beauty of parts, breadth. That's just weird. Breadth.
Okay.
Of outlook or in height.
And it's by John Bascom, 1906. And that name is important because the lodge we're about to head to is named after him. It's Bascom Lodge. You have to remember, a lot of people came here, so figure. First farms came, industrial came. After that, because of this beauty, poets, artists came. Think, the guy who wrote Moby Dick, the great white whale, might have been inspired by the white snow on top of this mountain in the winter. His house is right down the road. The Shallow Tower. We have fields and fields of Black Guy Susan, and there is the lodge. What's cool about the lodge is it does have accommodations, not like hotels, but if you were hiking through the Appalachian Trail, you could spend the night here. It does have a restaurant serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Bascom Lodge, built in 1932. Ooh, we're a few minutes away from lunchtime. Here we actually have about John Bascom, 1827-1911. Rest for the weary. Bascom Lodge has welcomed hikers and skiers and sunrise seekers since its completion in 1938. Its name honors John Bascom, an early Greylock Reservation commissioner who was a prominent advocate for constructing a fine summit house. Let's check out this fine summit house. We have a gift shop. There's the restaurant and cafe closed to lunch. We actually have a mapped athletes trail. And look, if we did hike, it was only 13.3 miles to Vermont Shelter. We could have walked to Vermont and back in a few hours. It's only a marathon. A few points of a mile more than a marathon. We have a wood map of where we are today. The white dotted line is going to be Appalachian Trail. There it is, the summit. You can see it continuing north. Do have some books. You can sit by the fireplace, read your book. It looks like we have some cardboard as kindling if they start fires.
Okay, I want to go say hello. They were here for dinner last night.
We actually have a gift shop in here.
Just on the phone.
Good t-shirt. It actually says how high we are.
Yeah, great energy, nice people. And
This vehicle climbed Mount Greylock bumper sticker. We do have a restaurant and cafe. Looks like a little bulletin board. If you're curious kind of food, here we have the breakfast menu. And there's the lunch menu. So you figure it's about $10 to $15. You figure it's like $10 to $15. New England clam chowder, burger, the most expensive one, Ranger burger, $16.50. House-made baked goods around corner. Just left the house at Summit Bascom Lodge, and I figured might as well tell you about the man, John Bascom. We told you he was from this park, but they actually have a little blurb about him on the sign here. After retiring as president of University of Wisconsin in 1887, John C. Bascom returned to his previous position as a professor at Williams College, located at the foot of the mountains. He became one of the first park commissioners and a powerful advocate for the preservation and expanded public access. And that's why the lodge is named after him. So we made it to Florida. No. I know, when we were talking about the Appalachian Trail, Georgia seemed too far. Florida seems even farther. But no, Florida, Massachusetts. Because we are near this Baptist church by the cemetery. And they actually have a weird tombstone. I know weird tombstones aren't roadside attractions, but we document the weird, the odd, the bizarre. So, we were in this part of Massachusetts. We figured we'd stop here and share it with you. Now, the grave we're about to show you isn't haunted. It isn't some crazy, weird legend about them. It just happens to be an unusual tombstone. Actually, it's not a tombstone at all. You see, when you pass away, time expires. Another time that happens is when you park, you put money in meter, you're gone too long, time expires. And that's what we have here. The grave of Joyce and Cody Burdick is a parking meter. It's not like there's a tombstone along with it. No, it literally is a parking meter. And as you see, time has expired. They removed the gear so you can't add more time to them. Cordy passed away first July 2nd, 1952 to January 28th, 2003. Then Joyce was November 11th, 1952 to July 8th, 2011. I'm glad at least this being their tombstone, they do have little plaques saying their names and when they lived and passed away. And it's just this one tombstone among any, but it just happens to be a parking meter. I wonder how many people have come and actually did put money in there. Imagine being the family, you come and you open it up every so often to see who visited, put some money in there. It's weird. I mean, it's respectful. I don't know why they chose it. It is a funny joke. Time expired. I don't know if it was only meant to be a joke. I don't know if he was a parking attendant. I don't know anything about them. It would be cool if her name was Rita, and then we could sing the Beatles song, Lovely Rita, Meter Maid. Onward. We have more roadside attractions and a carousel awaiting. Joy, you looking forward to the carousel?
Horses!
What a strange, weird video. From high points to tombstones to carousels. And the next spot, Joy, you could say cheese. Oh, wait till you see what we got in store for you. So we made our way to Cheshire, Massachusetts. Now, me as a photographer and as a fat kid, I always loved the saying, say cheese. Now here, they took that to a totally different meaning. We have an apple press, but in front of it we have a memorial honoring John Leland. He was a Baptist minister, born in Massachusetts, May of 1754. And the important thing about John Leland was he was a key proponent in securing the First Amendment right, the separation of church and state. In the early 1800s, he went to Washington and he actually preached at the Capitol for the president and the U.S. Congress. And he talked about the separation of church and state. But he didn't just go by himself. You see, when he went, he wanted to present a gift. And not just any gift, but the biggest block of cheese. So the reason Leland is right here with this big cheese press, they said he's the eloquent preacher, beloved pastor, influencer, patriot, the father of religious liberty. All the other pulpits here in Massachusetts didn't agree with him. When he carried those votes down, he actually presented Thomas Jefferson with a cheese. So, in January of 1802, in the East Room of the White House, this thing, in the presence of foreign diplomats, Supreme Court judges, and the Congress, he presented the big cheese. Big Cheshire cheese. Weighing in at what, Joy?
1,235 pounds.
That is a big cheese. Now, what's interesting is, why is it an apple press? Well, you see, they didn't have a press big enough to press this cheese. It was so big, they used an apple press. Imagine that. He brought the votes to Thomas Jefferson himself, and he wanted to talk, and he brought a gift of cheese. A lot of people made fun of him presenting a giant cheese.
I wouldn't have made fun. I'd be like, thank you.
I figure 1802, the idea of giant things. Now, people laughed about it, but they say this weird thing he did, in some people's eyes weird things, might have actually been the thing that influenced our culture and our love of the world's largest. Just think, because this guy gave the world's largest cheese at the time, he might now be the reason there's the world's largest bowl of twine, the world's largest frying pans. Us loving roadside attractions. We love roadside attractions, don't we, Joy?
Yeah.
We had to come see this cheese press. But wait, there's more! A little bit down the road, we're gonna see something else tying into this. So, the town first constructed the monument to Leland, but that's cool and all. But we like roadside attractions. So what did they build next? A monument to the cheese itself. There it is. Cheshire's mammoth cheese, weighing in at 1,235 pounds, presented to President Thomas Jefferson, January 1st, 1802. Look like Joy's gonna get it. She's getting it before this hiker does. Joy, that's the big cheese right there you got.
It is. It also say on here, rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God.
Ah. Meaning, don't listen to those tyrants. That's not what being religious is. This obviously isn't the cheese. It's a replica of the cheese.
That would be hard.
And that's where it says, rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. Just imagine, 1802, left here to D.C., this block of cheese. Obviously, there were no cars. There weren't railroads. He took this in a horse-drawn cart or buggy or carriage, whatever you want to say, all the way from here in northern Massachusetts down to D.C. I wonder how many days did he go? And second, one man couldn't pick that up. How many people were with him to lift that into the carriage, out of the carriage?
I thought he just like rolled it along.
He rolled it? Imagine it was
Why
a
not
penance,
downhill?
a
You
pilgrimage.
got good.
He rolled the cheese all the way to DC.
I mean, there's some downhills, so you got like momentum there.
But I think it's cool. Like, there's always interesting things in American history that people don't know of. There's weird, quirky things. And here's a guy that helped for the separation of church and state, but he also presented a giant block of cheese to Thomas Jefferson. That's cool. All right, onward. We made our way farther down the road to the next attraction. Oh, it's a good one. There it is. I hope we really could drive this one home. We're gonna slide into the town of Pittsfield to show you the last few attractions. I hope these puns aren't striking out.
A little foul play there.
Oh, okay. So what we have here is a giant baseball bat. You might be like, why is there a giant baseball bat? Is it because historic Wacona Park organized baseball since 1892? Or is it fact that a lot of people think they know, true or not? You see, a lot of people think baseball started in Cooperstown by Doubleday. Now that fact, a lot of people don't even think he was in Cooperstown. They don't know if that's a true fact. But however, here in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, they say they started baseball. And they're honoring the idea that they started baseball with a giant baseball bat. And there might be some big wood bats out there. We can see this is a giant steel bat, welded together, and a stone ball. This is just another roadside attraction right here next to the baseball stadium. But now we are going to get the real base of the point of this video. Joy wanted to ride a historic, not a historic carousel, a new carousel done in the Grand Carousel style here in Pittsfield. Look at the size of that baseball bat compared to Joy. You like it, Joy?
Yeah, it's so nice and toasty on the foot.
All right, get over here, you. The carousel of the Berkshires. But how can we come to Pittsfield and not share with you a big baseball bat? We're gonna get in the car to the last attraction of the day. And boy, going to the top of the mountain, seeing all the stuff is a good day, but it's time to ride a carousel, isn't it?
Yeah. So here we are at the Berkshire Carousel, and what's really cool about this one is though it might feel old, it's not old. It's like an homage to the Grand Carousels, like all the different ones that kind of carved or whatever. It was more recent, done in the 2000s, and done by actually volunteers.
We get to check it out. All the horses look like they're jumpers. Handicap accessible, you can put a wheelchair in there. You could sit and spin in here. And we have scenes and local families. It is the carousel. It is the Berkshire Carousel, so lots of Berkshire imagery. There is one donkey. I want to know, is there a reason there is one donkey? There has to be a story why there is a donkey. But I think this is my one. Look at this one. I see, it says Natalie Joy.
It's also got the violin.
I know it's a violin. Yeah, you played the violin growing up and your name's Joy, even though it's Natalie Joy. Mine also has a baseball. My noble steed. What are you laughing at?
I think it says joy.
It does say Joy. I guess I'm on your horse. Joy's in Cincho.
That's actually a song, Ode to Joy, but it's Ode to Natalie Joy.
Yeah. And we learned my horse is named Joy.
Yeah.
So I'm riding Joy.
Yeah.
Not dirty. Literally, it's his name.
This is also cool because like there's paintings of like, I guess it would be like the volunteer families, but just like families of the areas. And up there too.
Some pretty benches around the outside, some other horses, framing, showing how they made them. Now Joy, just stay in frame. Could you not keep going up and down? Just stay in frame. She never listens. She always is bouncing around. your horse, Joy, is standing very regal and noble.
Yep.
Now, like, look at this horse, one in front of you, one over, looking like he's gonna buck the rider off. He's not having it today. I think you could ride him though. Don't worry, he ain't gonna if you get on him.
This is so cool. Yeah, I'm not even angry that it's done like newer, just because it's like really awesome and like the old style.
Joy tries to ride Grand Carousels, but she makes some exceptions. This would be what I consider a new modern marvel.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Joy's getting on Joy, I'm getting on the one she rode. Round 2.
Haha, you have now the music one.
It's perfect. She's on Joy now, and I love Joy. And my horse, if we can see it, actually has the music notes for Ode to Joy. Can't beat this. Can't beat this at all. This is pretty awesome. Good way to end the day here in the Berkshires. I was wondering about the donkey, and the guy was telling us it's called a donkey pilgrimage. It's a local author, went to Ireland, and it's called a donkey pilgrimage, and he went all around Ireland on a donkey.
Spreading kindness.
Spreading kindness, relying on the kindness of strangers. So the rocking car here is based off him, and then right there in front of it is the carved donkey. There's so much stories to the different carousel horses.
So all of ours are jumpers. Some I think you're a TV producer.
Joy's looking at the sweet merch they have for this carousel. They do have some sweet merch.
You do.
It's a good classic t-shirt. I like stuff that has to do about individual spots. So my favorite thing that I was looking at was this coloring book. Now you would think they're generic horses. No. Someone actually drew the different horses on this carousel. So like, look, there's the one that Joy rode for the first and I rode second. We could color our carousels. There is a passport here, and what the whole point of the passport is, if you get stamped, you could ride the whole herd, meaning you've come and ridden every horse here. Is that your goal for next summer, Joy? We just come one day and you ride every horse? Joy was contemplating what to get. I think we decided on this Berkshire Carousel, creating a legacy. Because if we look, it actually talks about the horses and who carved them, who they're sponsored for, why they have animals on them. Tell you about a little about the people behind the carousel horses. It is beautiful how handicap accessible it is. So there's a ramp, and then it actually opens, and they have this to take a wheelchair straight to it and right on into the handicapped area. Anyone could ride this carousel. It's so beautiful. So there you have it. We came, we saw, we went to the highest point in Massachusetts, show you some roadside attractions, and then the meat and potatoes, the thing Joy wanted to do, the reason we're up here in the Berkshires, we rode the Berkshire Carousel. Was it everything you dreamt it could be, Joy?
It was so cool. Like I said, I am glad like they did homage to the old school grand style.
And we actually learned the engine, the motor, I mean, of the carousel is an old Herschel motor. It is a vintage motor that's been restored with just new carving. So technically, it is a grand carousel just with new horses.
About, like, the horses and the style. Yeah.
But it is pretty cool that there is this carousel.
And
here.
one's owed to me and one was me.
Yeah. The only thing, I loved everything about today except just a warning. If you come and do go to that high point, I did not like driving down from the high point smelling my brakes burning.
Oh, yeah.
But it happens. We did it. I'm glad we did it. Because that's another high point for us to knock off our list of high points. And it was a fun day. We saw a carousel that you wanted to ride.
I did.
Sadly, like, the problem is they ran out of volunteers a while ago. Not the carvers, but then after they carved it, no one wanted to actually come here on weekends and work. So it was open for a little bit, then it was sat closed for a while, and it's finally back open, so we finally came. And you should too, so more people want to volunteer because they want to see the smiles on people's faces here. I loved it. I think we call it though.
I think so.
I don't even know how to end this. I'll give it my best shot. Hope I knock it out of the park. get it because we were at the baseball bat. I think of more puns.
Oh my gosh.
So High Point, some roadside attractions, and the Berkshire Carousel. Been there, done that. Remember, folks, safe travels
Good eats.
and live life.
Swing, batter, batter, swing.
I'm trying. I sort of can't pick it up.
You're not trying hard enough.
I'm gonna bunt. Okay?